Oh, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I didn't know today was going to be what today is. Lot to get into. I appreciate you guys hanging out on this Thursday, October 10th at 8 a.m. Every Monday through Friday, we're going to be right here hanging out, talking some sports, predominantly SoCal sports. Was there a baseball game on yesterday? I didn't see it. So I didn't see anything yesterday. Nothing. Hey, Slee, make sure you and all Padres fans keep the same energy this morning about last night. Make sure you do all that clapping you always do. Dodgers in 5. I didn't know I was clapping. I didn't know. I didn't know I was clapping. Dodgers demolish the San Diego Padres last night here in San Diego. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about it. Bro, why you got to come at me like that? Relax. Just relax for a second. Can I have a second? Can I have a quick second to take a deep breath? Can I enjoy my cup of coffee, my cup of Joe at 8 in the morning? Jesus Lord. What kind of a chat is this? Yeah, I don't got much to say. All I could say is that the Dodgers obviously dominated the Padres yesterday, but we got a lot to get into. And I will tell this to anybody who is tuning in, Dodgers or Padre fans, it really doesn't matter. This series ain't over. Like, if people are saying, if you're a Dodger fan, you think, hey, the series is over. I don't really know you. I don't think you know the DNA of the San Diego Padres. Like I was saying yesterday, the series isn't over because it was a game 4 at Petco Park. The Dodgers can explode at any time, and they obviously did that yesterday. So we're going to get a lot into that. Somebody asking the question, doing baseball talk now, huh? Basically, I'm doing a 5 days a week daily talk show for SoCal Sports. A lot of it is going to be Los Angeles Laker based, but we're not really there yet to have that for the Los Angeles Lakers. But we'll get there. Before you know it, there's going to be a lot of conversations that obviously have to do from that perspective. It's funny. I kind of felt like I needed a little bit more protection today. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of felt like people are going to come at me today. And maybe some of these people are going to be Dodgers. So I kind of got a little set up. You know what I mean? I got my jab going. I got my gloves on. You guys want to go? Let's go. All right, we're going to have a good time today. We'll have a good time. We'll talk obviously about the series, and then we'll I got actually a lot of good Lakers stuff that I want to get into as well. I mean, listen, if I got to throw some boxing gloves on, I'll throw some boxing gloves on. All right. I'm not messing around today. I'm not messing around all Lakers season. I'm not messing around anymore. All right. This is independent sleep. I got to go get some checks. This is no health insurance sleep. This is 401k gone sleep. It's a completely different sleep now. Completely different. Not really. Same sleep. Same sleep. Okay. Let's get into the game a little bit. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Sammy is somebody who wants to do some roll call. Let's do some roll call. Wherever you're tuning into, here's the beauty with YouTube. The beauty of YouTube, people are tuning in from anywhere. A lot of people that are obviously from Southern California, but we got a lot of people, and this is part of the Laker brand where people are everywhere. If you want Laker conversation today, I got it, because we have a couple Laker things that I do want to get into, so don't worry about that. Roll call, if you don't know what roll call is, all you have to do is just follow people like this. They're just putting in where they're tuning in from. So we got Temple City in the house. We got Los Santos in the house. We got Anaheim in the house. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Feel free to put in where you're tuning in from. Fernando Valley, thank you for tuning in. David, you just got blocked, bro. David's gone. David's gone. Never coming back on the channel, ever. Obviously, a lot of Dodger fans on this channel as well. All right, let's get into yesterday's game here for a quick second. And I'm going to throw these in. Washington, D.C., thank you for being here. Sherman Oaks, thank you for being here. You know what happens sometimes, I'll tell you guys, when I have a guest on, sometimes I feel like I don't look at the chat as often. So my apologies for that, but I'm trying to just engage in a good conversation. So that's the reason why. I did figure out one thing too that I think is very important for the show. I found a Zoom button. So if I get ticked off and somebody wants to come at me, I might Zoom you. I might zoom you. All right, that's a little bit too close here. Let's back off here for a second. I feel like I'm coming with a lot of aggressiveness this morning. A lot of aggressiveness this morning. Watts, California in the house, born and raised, Lakers, Dodgers. Throw Padres in there. Take out that Dodgers portion of it. Philippines in the house. Thank you very much for being there. Let me grab Philippines right here. Seattle, Ventura, LA, Little Italy, Long Beach, El Cajon in the house. Everybody stop for a quick second. Give a little, that's my hometown right there. El Cajon. That's born and raised Sliwa out in El Cajon. Kennedy Recreation Center out there. You want to get crossovered at the age of 8? Come out to Kennedy Rec Center. All right. This is probably one of my favorite things here. The free David part. Every time I block somebody for being a different fan, then everybody's there to free each other up. All right, let's talk about the game here real quick. Dodgers just pounced on the San Diego Padres and gave them no chance to win that game. No chance at all. I mean, really, it's the best way that I can describe it. You got a Padre fan base, obviously hungry, obviously trying to close it out in 4 games. The game is at Petco Park. It's in San Diego. The place was going to be rocking. They sold, I forget what the number was, 45,000. I can't remember what it is, but they're just fitting more and more people into Gallagher Square. That was supposed to be the Padres moment. And that was the idea, and that was the concept. And instead, Mookie Betts starts off the game with another home run. By the way, those that were demolishing Mookie, this dude in the last 2 games is Mookie Betts. And as a San Diego Padre fan, my hope was, hey, Mookie, why don't you just relax for the next couple of days and then go ahead and start killing it again in spring training? But that can's already open. Mookie Betts is not going back to the 3-42 stretch that he was in. He's not going back to the 0-22 stretch that he had so far in these last couple of years of the postseason. The real Mookie Betts has been awake now for a couple of days. You could even say, go back to that Dodger game at Dodger Stadium in Game 2 where Jurickson Profar robs him. He could have 3 consecutive home runs in 3 consecutive games. He has single-handedly, and this was kind of the question, hey, is this just going to be Shohei Ohtani again? After Game 1, you thought that. Mookie Betts is completely changing the complexion of this series. I know there's other things as well, but Mookie starts out the game doing what he does. I thought the second inning where they pounce again on Dylan Cease, and Cease has a difficult time trying to keep guys off base that are later in the lineup. That's just, you're basically asking to lose a game or to get yourself pulled out of a game if you're a starting pitcher, and you're allowing guys from the 6 through 9 spot for the Dodgers to be effective. And if Shohei is going to have an opportunity to drive, I saw a stat yesterday, and I'm like, this is not a real stat. It can't be a real stat. You guys tell me. I think the stat said this on Fox. I think it said that Shohei Ohtani was 14 for 17 with runners in scoring position in his last 17 at-bats. It was something like that. Maybe it was 14 for 16. But it was such an absurd number. I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean he's 14 for 16 or 14 for 17 with runners in scoring position over his last 17 at-bats? Tell me he's 8 for 17. Tell me he's 6 for 17. But 14 for 17, I thought the Dodgers took a page out of the Padres book yesterday where they weren't trying to hit home runs, even though they were hitting home runs. Will Smith got one. Gavin Lux got one. Obviously, Mookie Betts got one. But I thought they became all of a sudden, let's just make contact and put the ball in play. They played a little bit more of small ball yesterday. And like I said, there was never a moment that San Diego Padres crowd can get the Padres in that game. The Dodgers never let them breathe. They strangleheld them from about the second inning on. And by the time the third inning had started, or by the time the third inning was done, I was grabbing a slice of pizza somewhere else and listening to the game on the radio and basically just deciding I don't want to watch the Padres get their ass kicked. And I'm sure every Dodger fan was enjoying every single moment of that. That game wasn't close. Padres had no shot. It was a demoralizing loss for San Diego. But the one thing, and I'll get into this in a little bit, the one thing that I can emphasize to everybody out there, it only counts as one W. And that's, really how the Padres have to look at it. But yeah, that was that was from a blueprint perspective. You couldn't have asked for more if you're a Dodger fan. That's exactly what you were looking for. That's exactly what you were hoping for. The way it played out, the scenario that it played out, a bullpen game, all these other guys, Kike Hernandez giving them a little bit of energy, Gavin Lux getting one in, Will Smith hitting the furthest home run ball so far in the playoffs. It was just kind of a combination of everybody, and this is why the Dodgers are always a threat. If they wake up, what does that mean? If everything clicks for a couple games in a row, what does that look like? Last night was a perfect example of it. And listen, the Padres, I don't think, have scored now. I think it's 16 innings that they have not scored. So they're picking the absolute worst time not to be effective. They're picking the absolute worst time to go on some type of a drought, and give the Dodgers credit for it, because that bullpen could potentially just save the Dodgers this season and have them live another day, which is game 5, and could have them potentially, that bullpen's obviously going to be very involved on Friday, could eventually put them in a position where they end up in a series against the New York Mets on Sunday. I hope that's not the case. Obviously, I want that series to be in San Diego, but that bullpen has been good enough to where that bullpen could potentially carry them without the starting pitching of Tyler Glasnow, without the starting pitching of Gavin Stone and some of these other guys that got injured during the season. Clayton Kershaw not there. Bobby Miller just not good enough. That bullpen could potentially be the difference of the Los Angeles Dodgers making it to go play the New York Mets. All right, I just have to look up one thing here. All right. Did that here real quick. All right, let me take a look at some of the comments here and some of the people here from the chat. Central Coast area, I appreciate you tuning in. Culver City, Big Apple in the house. Thank you for being here. Let's see what else we got here. La Puente in the house. Thank you for being here. Tommy, what's up, Sliwa? Dodgers showed some heart. It's kind of funny. I mean, maybe you want to play it that way, that they showed heart, whatever the case is. They're a really good team. I think sometimes, and I hated this. I really, really hated this. And I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about. David Ortiz on the broadcast, on Fox's broadcast, asked a couple days ago, he's like, give me camera 1 or whatever he said. And he looks into the camera and he starts having a conversation like he was talking to Mookie Betts. And he said, you don't need to take this many at-bats and do this and do that. He said, just have fun. You're Mookie freaking Betts. And as that video is going on, I'm like, please don't show this to Mookie. I know people want to look at it as they showed heart, that this is a Dodgers team that, feels like they woke up. They're also very talented, and talent sometimes can trounce anything else. And talent, and we use a guy like Mookie Betts as a good example. The guy is one of the best players in baseball, period. And Shohei Ohtani, if you guys remember, I was sitting here talking about it as the series started, especially after game 1. I'm like, I would walk Shohei to get to Mookie. And I'm doing that because Mookie was struggling, and Shohei Ohtani looked like he was hitting a beach ball every time he swung the bat. Well, that changed. Now you have to pitch to Shohei Ohtani. By the way, now you even have to pitch when the seven spot's coming up, and whoever it is, it's Edman or it's Lux or whoever's there, right? Miguel Rojas in the past in the 9th spot. You have to make sure that you pitch them, because you cannot walk them because Shohei's coming up. Now you're starting to get into this. Well, Mookie's just as dangerous as Shohei Ohtani, and when you got that 1-2 combination, there's not really all that much that you can do. I want to give some credit to Dave Roberts here real quick. Dave Roberts, I think, has managed the last 2 games as good as you can manage in a playoff game. Okay, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about that. It's not Dave Roberts' fault that the Dodgers got within 1 run in game 3, a 6-5 game, that they got within 1 run and those bats went 1 for 22 to close out the game, or 1 for 21, whatever it was. That's not Dave Roberts' fault. that they lost 6-5, in my opinion, that they lost 6-5 a couple days ago. But I thought Dave Roberts did some things that were a little bit unconventional. And in the playoffs, specifically the Los Angeles Dodgers, everything just looks like it's going by a script. Everything just looks like it's a math equation. And I don't think you could really live life like that. I don't think you could live life like by a math equation because I don't think life entirely is a math equation. Can you use percentages to kind of try to help make your decision? Yes. But in the world of sports, you got to also go with your gut. This is why Dave Roberts, I'm going to give him credit for the last couple of days. There was a moment where it was a risky moment. Walker Buehler had Fernando Tatis Jr. coming up. And we know what Tatis has done in these playoffs. We know what Tatis had done earlier in the game against Buehler. He hits a 2-run homer. Padres go up 6-1. He had a moment where he was going to make a decision. And the broadcast, Joe Davis and John Smoltz, everybody just assumed and thought, okay, I know exactly what's happening here. They're going to the mound to grab Walker Buehler. They're going to take him out. And Dave Roberts goes up there and looks at Walker Buehler, says something, looks at Will Smith, I don't know what he says, and just starts walking back over to the dugout. It was like one of those, and even Walker Buehler looked like he was surprised and shocked that he was keeping the ball there against Tatis. And I remember John Smoltz saying, well, he's giving you the ball. Now you got to go close it out. And Walker Buehler did. You know what that probably did to Walker Buehler? Do you know what that walk back when that inning ended where you got Tatis, whatever it was, fly out, ground out, whatever it was, that meant probably the world to Walker Buehler. And I'm sure there was some respect across a lot of these different Dodger players saying, hey, that worked. By the way, if it doesn't work, all anybody's talking about is why did you let Walker Buehler keep the ball? Yesterday, the Dodgers had a bullpen day. Can you tell me, was there not a string that was pulled yesterday appropriately and the right way by Dave Roberts? I didn't see anything that he did wrong. From the lineup that he put out there, from giving Kike a chance to get back into that lineup. You're without Freddie Freeman. You're without Miguel Rojas. Those two are injured. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you, when I saw that Freddie Freeman wasn't playing like anybody else, I'm like, that's a freaking huge advantage for the San Diego Padres. Dodgers still put up 8 runs. But Padres did not lose that game yesterday because of the bats of the Dodgers. Padres lost that game yesterday because of every string pulled by Dave Roberts worked for that bullpen. That bullpen was excellent. That bullpen was perfect for them. And that bullpen put a stranglehold on the Padres that never let them get comfortable. And that's why there's going to be a Game 5 at Dodger Stadium coming up tomorrow. I've had a lot of people encouraging me to go to that game because of my track record, Padres, Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Not a good track record if you're a Padre fan. Not a good track record. Dodger fans, I think, are buying me tickets. I think they're trying to get me out there. And they say, hey, Al, whatever you did for Game 1, we'd love to see you do it again. You know, what gear were you wearing? Let's wear that gear again. Dodger fans, I don't care how much money you throw at me. Okay? This is going to be my decision, not your decision. But you can feel free to throw money at me. I got no problem taking money. All right, let me read some of these comments here. Chatsworth, thank you for being in the house. Let's see what else we got here. Put my freaking glove on. These freaking people. You guys are going crazy over there. Just relax. You know, I learned in boxing. Got it. If I'm throwing, right? No matter what I'm doing, I got to have a hand up for defense. That's kind of how I am with this chat right now. I feel like right now with this chat, while I'm reading some of these chats, I just got to have a hand up for defense because I feel like everywhere I go, I got some kind of Dodger fan coming at me. All right, let's keep going here. Let's go towards the end. Or no, let's get a couple of these super chats here. If you're throwing money at me, you come to the top of the list. Come to the top of the list. Just know that. You can buy me at any time. Need to put the fire Roberts noise to bed. Firing Roberts would be the equivalent to firing Vogel. That's interesting. That's an interesting comp. I don't think you have to put that fire Roberts to bed because if the San Diego Padres won Game 5 at Dodger Stadium, that conversation is going to be there. What's the difference of winning if losing in 3 games or losing in 5 games? Did you get out of the first round or did you not? So I don't think that conversation is going anywhere. Can I say this? And I got it on my notes right here. Series not over. I'm telling you, Dodger fans, I'm telling you, this is still a series. if you expect, I was doing the math yesterday. I had a whole board up here and, I was carrying the whole thing. I mean, I can't even tell you some of these notes here. You would think I'm basically running for president. Like I'm trying to come up with a peace deal somewhere around the world. Let me just give you guys a quick breakdown of what this series has been. And for those who think for those who think by winning game 4 at Petco Park, the series is over, I'm telling you, you're dead wrong. And if you listen to me a couple, whatever that was before the series started, I mentioned to you guys, I thought this series was going to go 5. It's supposed to go 5. These two teams are evenly matched. These two teams have fantastic players on both sides of the plate. Whether you want to give the Padres credit or not, the Padres are standing one win away from hosting a game against the New York Mets coming up on Sunday, as are the Dodgers. Both teams are in the exact same position. But let me just kind of tell you why this is supposed to be a 5-game series. Look at each game so far between these two teams. And this is where it kind of takes me back to the Dave Roberts piece. The whole fire Dave Roberts thing, put that to bed. You don't put anything to bed. If the Dodgers, let's say the Dodgers win game 5 and they lost to the New York Mets, who they're going to have, in my opinion, they're going to have an advantage against the New York Mets. I think whoever comes out of the series will be the favorites to get to the World Series. Okay, let's say you lost in the NLCS. What's the Dodgers' goal? Is it to win a World Series or not? Because everybody has looked at the Dodgers the same exact way. You know how they've looked at them? They've looked at them as an underachieving franchise in the postseason, in the playoffs. Here's what the series has been so far. Game 1, 7-5 Dodgers, absolute nail-biter. Padres go up 3-0. Dodgers tie at 3-3. Padres go up 5-3. Dodgers come back and eventually get the game to 7-5. Okay, look at the 8th inning. There's traffic on the bases. Padres have chances. Look at the 9th inning. There's traffic on bases. Manny Machado strikes out. Game 1 was a nail-biter. Could have went either way. It was a very, very good, competitive, close game. Game 2, a blowout. Padres win 10-2. Game 3, another nail-biter, 6-5. It's coming down to the final couple of pitches, and Padres find a way to close out that game. Game 4, blowout to the Dodgers, 8-0. Game 5 will be a nail-biter. Trust me on that. And even if you want to give the Dodgers a slight advantage because Yamamoto will be in full rest. Jack Flaherty probably is going to be available. Their bullpen has been amazing. The Padres bullpen, everyone will be available in game 5. They're going to throw out Yu Darvish, who I don't need to tell you guys how Yu Darvish pitched in game 2. He was excellent. He was great. He was 7 innings. This is going to be a really, really good game 5. Do you know through 4 games what the total score is? It's 22-21 Dodgers. That's the total through 4 games. I just think this is going to be I think this is going to be an unbelievable end. I really do. I genuinely believe that this is going to be an unbelievable end. All right, let me look at some of these comments here. Let's hear. All right, here's one. Look, Victor sounds like somebody that is a realistic person here. I think it's a toss-up. I'm scared of Darvish. By the way, even as a Padre fan, I was walking into that game 2 with Darvish on the mound. I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of was nervous the other way, and Darvish obviously pitched the gem. Here's the good thing with you, Darvish. And tomorrow we'll kind of preview the game a little bit more. But if you're a Padre fan, here's the good thing with you, Darvish. You think this guy is afraid of the moment? Like, this guy's been in situations like this before. This guy's been pitching for 20 years. He's been incredible. He's been amazing. This has been kind of part of his DNA in baseball. And I know a lot of Dodger fans probably feel a different way about you, Darvish, because there have been big moments where he didn't come through for the Dodgers. But for the Padres, I like you, Darvish, on the mound. Let's get another one here. It's not over. Dodgers need to bring the same energy and focus to game 5. Here's another one. Completely agree. And I think you're saying completely agree with that this is going to be a game 5. NBA notepad is clean. Oh, thank you, bro. Actually, let me show you a little something else. Actually, I don't think I have it. Do I have it? No, it's cool, Al. It's only a live show. It's only a live show, bro. No, you're cool, bro. It's only a live show. A lot going on here. Now that's clean. That one's clean. Got this a couple years back. like with the Laker logo on there. Are you kidding me? I walk into meetings like this before they even say anything. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? Did you say anything? Oh, I'm sorry. I just got my NBA Spalding. By the way, this is like I go out here and shoot a couple baskets. I go out right now to the hoop. I'm gonna go outside right now. This probably dribbles too. It probably bounces. All right, let's keep going here. Don't count out the Padres. All right, San Fernando in the house. By the way, if I missed you when you were putting some of your where you're tuning in from, feel free to do that, and I'll continue to go. Why can't yesterday's Dave Roberts show up every night? Listen, it's you got good players on both sides. Let me throw this out there. Game 5 coming up on Friday night. Dodgers lose the game 3-2, 4-3, whatever it is. Dave Roberts has no involvement in. He makes all the right calls, but the Dodgers just lose the game because it's a good game and there's two good teams going at it. I'm not saying Dave Roberts has to go because of that game. I would say Dave Roberts would have to go just simply because the man has been in the postseason now X amount of years. He's had so much success in the regular season. They haven't been able to get over, at least the last 3 years, not able to get out of the first round. He can still manage a good game, and the Dodgers can still lose game 5. But I just think he was brilliant in these last 2 games. I really do. All right, let me get some more of these comments here. Darvish or Dodgers seeing Darvish twice within a week, considering his last elimination game at Dodger Stadium, he is getting lit up. Could be right. One of the beauty with how Darvish pitches, and I'm not exactly sure what the Dodgers are going to do yet. I don't know if they've made that announcement yet, but I'm assuming they're starting the game with Yamamoto, and everybody's just got a short leash. I'm assuming everybody's just got a short leash. If Darvish has a problem, Padres are going to go to the bullpen. If Yamamoto has an issue, they're going to go somewhere else. It's funny that the conversation right now in San Diego was, hey, did Mike Shildt just screw this entire thing up by putting Dylan Cease in for game 3 or game 4 on short rest, only 3 days rest? I don't have the answer for you, but the conversations about managers, every single game that happens, why did that guy do this? That guy is brilliant. As of this morning, Dave Roberts is a genius and an absolute savant when it comes to managers. Mike Shildt this morning of the Padres is, hey, that's the worst decision I've ever seen this guy make. That's just kind of how it goes game to game in the playoffs. So something to keep in mind there. Okay. I think I mentioned this to you guys, and I want to make sure that, I'm doing this and I'm promoting it properly. So as this Lakers season comes aboard, I want to throw something out to everybody, just kind of give everybody an idea what the plan is for this Lakers season. So I'm going to continue to do the show Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. here. And post-game, I'm figuring it out still, but I still plan on doing post-game show tonight at least. And then let me kind of get into a little bit of a groove here of how I'm going to do the post-game. But Sammy Long, I've mentioned to you guys, is going to do, I call it the Hoops Talk preview. And basically, he's going to preview every game coming up. He's going to kind of get you as much information as you can about the game, some storylines coming in from both teams. So he's going to do his best to do that. So he put up a video yesterday promoting the Lakers and the Bucks coming up tonight. I know this is not that big of a deal right now. It's still preseason play, but there are some Laker conversations that I do want to get into as well. So I'm going to bring Sammy in here right now. So Sammy's going to join the chat here. And once Sammy gets in, I'll go back to Dodgers baseball and Padres in game 5. But this is what we're going to do here. And I'm going to do some of the comments as well. All right, let's get Sammy in here. Sammy Long.
Alex Lee, what's going on?
Oh, brother, how are you doing?
Doing good. I saw you popping the jab earlier.
Listen, a lot of people are coming at me, bro. So what I have done now is I've went out there and I got a couple gloves. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's important for me now to play a little defense because winning games is not all about defense. What I've been told is defense wins championships, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, well, if defense wins championships, then I got to play a little defense sometimes.
What's the? I heard you the boxing club. What's the defensive style? Are you a Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker? Are you a Floyd Mayweather
Yeah,
style of
it's a good
Ali,
question.
power
Yeah, no,
Tyson?
it's a great question. It's a combination of Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Evander
Yeah,
Holyfield, and George Foreman. It's just
we're
like
going
a
all. You're
combination
going
of
all
all them.
heavyweights.
I'm
We're
going
going.
all heavyweights, old school. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I put on a couple of LBs, so now I'm heavyweight class. What's going on, brother? How are you doing?
Doing good, man. How about you? Excited for Game 5. It's going to be great, and we got Laker basketball tonight. And
Yeah.
even the
By the
LA
way,
Kings are starting tonight, so it's going to be great.
yeah, when you say excited about Game 5, I don't know who you're talking to because this shit's too stressful. Can I tell you something sad, pathetic, and reality of being a sports fan? And by the way, this has always happened with me with the Lakers as well. I have a lot of trouble watching games when they're big games. Do you know Game 2,
Yeah.
the Darvish game, the 10-2 blowout for the Padres? Do you know I went about maybe 5 or 6 innings not watching because I was too nervous to actually watch the game? And then I had to go back and basically watch the game all over again and probably got about
Baseball.
2.5 hours of sleep.
Baseball's different.
Yeah.
Baseball is very stressful, like because there's not a lot of ebb and flow in the game. Like I mean, last night, I mean, like when a team is at home, there is literally shout out to Pasadena, the Pasadena, Texas. Okay, that's where I'm from. But
Get
that's
that camera up a little bit. I mean, you're cutting
oh
off
okay,
your beautiful hair here, bro. There you
okay.
go. There
We
you go.
got
You're good there. Yeah,
we
yeah.
got. I gotta bend down a little bit. You know what I mean? Try not to get the ceiling in here. But yeah, no, baseball, playoff baseball is the best. It's stressful. It's why it's the best time of year. It's there's really nothing better. And Fox has got to be salivating. Getting Game 5. I mean, these ratings are going to be huge.
Well, and it's not just that. I mean, there's been a lot of really good drama with this series. I think that's been the thing that has sometimes you can have baseball games and you could look at it and say, not a big deal or whatever the case is. Or look at any of these other series. Do the Royals and the Yankees, has there been this, kind of drama outside of baseball? There hasn't. With the Padres and the Dodgers, it has been that way. And I think that's, obviously it's good for the sport. I think for both teams, you've had roller coasters of emotions. Dodgers win the first game 7-5, but the Padres were threatening at the end. Then a Padre blowout. Padres win game 3. Dodgers, Tasker Hernandez hits a grand slam to make it 6-5. Nobody scored after the third inning, and just the everyone on pins and needles. And then yesterday, I'm sure Dodger fans are walking around and pumping their chest out this morning like, hey, this is a wrap. We got the Padres exactly where we want them. I would disagree with that. And for those who know, I know Sammy's going to be doing all these pre-videos and he'll be talking a lot of Lakers basketball. He's as big of a baseball fan as anybody, so he can break it down, and that's why I kind of brought him on here. We'll do a little Lakers, but we'll talk a little of the game as well. Sammy, what was some of your takeaways yesterday, Padres Dodgers?
I think it was clearly started with Dylan Cease. I think that was a massive mistake. It's easy to look back on. My problem with it before the game, Dylan Cease had been talking about how the start that he had last Saturday was 10 days rest. He had a long rest, and that was not good for him. He said, ideally, it's 5 days rest. So I thought you'd pitch him Friday or at least go Darvish and then him. And for Schill to just throw him out there, I mean, Ohtani and Betts, they've been cooking him. The whole lineup really has been getting to him. It's cool to see Mookie Betts getting going. I mean, you want to see, Tatis has really showed up. Ohtani showed up. And Mookie's so good, and it's not a talent thing, but people were looking at it like, why is he not getting a hit? Is this a mental thing? Is this simply like what is going on? And as you mentioned, the Profar one, Rob Sunday, he just had to see one go over the wall. Had to see one, and going 2 for 4 Tuesday, 2 for 5 yesterday. Listen, it's going to be a crazy game Friday. Darvish, as we know, the Dodgers have had trouble hitting him, so Darvish could pitch a great game. I think the fact that the Dodgers have Yamamoto, and the second he gets into trouble, Flaherty's coming in, is a big deal for them. I think it's not great for the pot. They're putting more pressure on you, Darvish. The fact that they can't do, if they hadn't pitched Cease, they could have went Friday in the second that Darvish got into trouble, throwing Cease out there.
Here's the problem with Cease And Cease has given no indication in the series against the Dodgers that he's going to give you something. And that's my – and I wonder if this was part of the equation. You know, the Dodgers, I thought Landon Knack was going to start yesterday. They obviously didn't do that. They go bullpen, and the bullpen was just you literally could not script. If I told you or a Dodger fan, can you script me what would be a perfect night tomorrow? Mookie gets going. Dodgers bullpen delivers. You have an off day the next day to get them back and ready. Other players like Lux and Will Smith get into the action. You give kind of confidence to everyone in that lineup. You couldn't have scripted a better game. But a couple days ago, you thought it might be Martin Perez of the Padres. They got at the trade deadline. Was actually pretty good for them. I wonder how much, it's funny. Martin Perez got a start. Was it the last game on Saturday or Sunday? He had a start against the Arizona Diamondbacks right before the season ended. He gave up like 5-6 runs. And I don't know how much confidence that took away from Mike Schilt to use him in a playoff game. But Dylan Cease has shown nothing against the Dodgers. Game 1, he was really bad, didn't have his control, was struggling so much with a 6-9 bat. If you struggle with 6-9 with the Dodgers, it is impossible to walk away without giving up some runs to Shohei and Mookie Betts. If guys are on, it's Edman or it's Lux or it's, I throw Will Smith into that category only because of where they put him in the lineup, or Rojas when he was healthy. If these dudes are on for Shohei or Mookie, you're basically asking to give up runs and get yourself out of the game.
And that's what I think what was the key for the Padres in the Braves series. Look at Kyle Higashioka hitting back-to-back homers. I mean, they were providing stuff at the back end of the lineup for Arias, pretty struggled recently, and Tatis and Machado and Profar and them. Friday's going to be amazing. It's literally, I think it just comes down to who shows up. Is it Ohtani, Betts? I think Freddie's going to play versus Tatis, Machado, and Profar. I think it's going to be a nail biter. And the bullpen, I guess the one thing for Padre fans is that you didn't have to burn your high leverage
anybody.
guys.
Yeah.
But I think after a day's rest, everyone's going to be there. Trinan's going to pitch for the Dodgers, Kopech. So I think it's best against best. It's going to be fun for baseball.
Oh, man. Inflation continuing to cool in the latest CPI report, just like the Padre bats. What the hell was that for? Come on, bro.
They're coming at you today, Slee.
What the hell is going on here? All right. What was the other one I saw here? Oh, this is a good one. See if I can find it again. Somebody had put in there. Oh, this is Dodger bullpen is our best starter.
Yeah, it's
that bullpen. That bullpen is dirty.
Because I heard Colin Cowherd yesterday. It's people talking about, well, this thing's over because the Dodgers don't have a bullpen. That's the Dodgers' best shot. Like that's the strength of the team without Stone and Glasnow and Sheehan and River Ryan and May and all the guys hurt. It's the bullpen is it's not bad. It's not as bad for the Dodgers to go to the pen early as it is for the Padres on Friday.
All right. Well, we will continue, and tomorrow we'll break down, Game 5 and everything else from there, and we'll continue to talk about this. If you got some questions, comments, throw them in now. I do want to switch gears here. I want to talk a little Lakers basketball. So I'm going to share my screen with everybody. By the way, I don't know if I've ever shared my screen with two people on together, so I have no idea if my laptop's just going to just shut down and go from there. NBA GM survey came out, and this one's interesting, and I think you could look at it a couple different ways. But let me first share my screen on this. For those that want a little Lakers basketball right now is when we're going to get into it. So let me show this question. Western Conference ranking. So this is the Western Conference rankings NBA GM survey. This is what people feel. The number one ranking in the Western Conference. They got OKC grabbing 80%. By the way, how good is OKC going to be this year? They're going to be so good this year. Who they get? Hartenstein, and they got Caruso in a trade. They're going to be phenomenal. Minnesota. What's that?
Hartenstein was a great ad. I'm surprised he let him go.
No, it's a perfect pickup. Okay, Minnesota, second best odds in the Western Conference. Denver, third best odds, and they're just kind of looking this at Western Conference rankings. See a team missing here? Anybody here missing?
Not showing us respect.
Okay, let me ask you this: should they be here?
I think certainly above Golden State. And no, I think they should. I think there's a real,
Above Golden State, I agree with. I agree above Golden
and
State.
I think there's a real shot for New Orleans. In Memphis should be good, but we don't know. That team, they're going off 2-3 years ago in projecting that. The top 5, Phoenix is, I think, a lot like the Lakers. It's weird to me how they give the Suns a lot of credit when they are not as deep as the Lakers and they rely on 3 stars, really 2.5, because Bradley Beal hasn't been good in years.
Yeah. I'd say more like 2 1/3.
2 1/3.
Yeah, I like getting a little tighter with those percentages.
Yeah. It's. I mean, people in Phoenix can't stand. I mean, in the contract's not movable because no one wants them. Yeah, I think there's a real argument to be ahead of the 5 through 8. I think 1 through 4 right now you put the Lakers behind, but I don't think that's enough respect.
Okay. And this, look, I just wanted to show because it doesn't have the Lakers in there. But the one I think that is most interesting, by the way, somebody asking here, Bronny talk. There is going to be Bronny talk. Shams was on with Greeny a little bit earlier this morning, and something that he said, which I'll play it for you guys in a little bit, already gave me a migraine. But let me show you guys one other thing here on this NBA GM survey. The other one I want to show you guys, and this, Sammy, something that you pointed out to me that you put in your preview video that's out there right now on the channel. So we're previewing the Lakers and the Bucks coming up today. Here's one of the questions. Which new or relocated head coach will make the biggest impact on his new team? Here are the percentages. Mike Budenholzer on Phoenix, 40%. I don't think a big surprise. Kenny Atkinson, good coach, Cleveland, 20%. J.B. Bickerstaff, coming from Cleveland, 20%. Charles Lee in Detroit, Jordy Fernandez, Brooklyn. J.J. Redick was last on that list that he will have the biggest impact on his new team. J.J. Redick just getting 3% of the vote. And this is what I'm trying to figure out, I think, with this breakdown. Does this have more to do with, and I'll ask you first, Sammy, and then I'll chime in as well. And if there's Laker fans out there that want to chime in, feel free to do so as well. If you're a Dodger fan, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from you right now. Which does this have more to do with the fact that they think J.J. Redick's not going to be a good coach, or does this have more impact on they don't think the Lakers are going to be a good team?
I think it's a multitude of things. I don't know if they are not giving JJ respect because it's more of a shot at LeBron, that they think a team that's coached by with LeBron on it is more like they're an assistant coach and LeBron's really the head coach, which I don't think is going to happen this year. I think LeBron's really bought into JJ Redick and knows that that's kind of a narrative spun about him, that he kind of oversteps as head coach. And I don't think JJ Redick, even just seeing him on ESPN, I don't think that's going to happen to him. I also think there's a disdain for media members. I don't think you saw this with Rob Pelinka. Rob Pelinka was an agent, so I guess not a media member, but was an agent before he became GM. And there were rumors that other teams didn't want to do deals with the Lakers, that he burned too many bridges, things like that. You remember JJ Redick was talking about all of these teams before last year on First Take and things like that. You wonder if some of them are just kind of preying on his downfall. Like, oh yeah, they can't do our job. What are they talking about? They're pundits. He was just a player. Now he's a head coach. I think JJ Redick's going to be good. I think that's very disrespectful. Maybe it's that they don't think the Lakers are going to be good.
I think it's got to be more that, doesn't it? Like, I think they got to be looking at, like, let me kind of give you an example. I'm looking at the list here right now. Let's use, I'm just trying to look at franchises. Okay, is Charles Lee going to Charlotte? Should he have that much of a difference of an impact than J.J. Redick for the Lakers? I don't know. I don't know anything about Charles Lee. I know that the Charlotte franchise, I mean, if I have a lot of Charlotte fans on here, I apologize, but obviously that franchise has been trashed for a long time. I don't know how much impact he's going to have. Jordy Fernandez in Brooklyn, I have no idea. I'm just looking at the actual franchises and what's been their level of success in the NBA. Is it a personal thing? Do people just not like the Los Angeles Lakers? I would imagine if you said one of the two things, Do they have less confidence in JJ Redick or less confidence in the Lakers roster? I actually think that they would have less confidence in JJ Redick according to this poll, because the Lakers roster is not terrible. The Lakers roster, I'm not telling you they're going to go, win an NBA championship this upcoming season, but they're not trash. They got a lot of good players. There is some continuity. Do they need to go make a trade and use those 2 picks to improve the roster? Clearly they do. But if it's 3% impact, that's more telling me that these GMs are saying, this guy's never coached in the NBA before. He's never coached in college before. He's never coached at any level before. Why are we going to give him the benefit of the doubt? That's how I'm reading this.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess you could play it that, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Detroit, all these teams, there's really only one way to go, and it's up. So they could make the biggest impact on those teams. I guess in terms of the Lakers, if the Lakers go play the Nuggets again and get bounced in 5 games, 6 games, or a first-round exit in the playoffs, it's considered a failure. So it's just tougher. They're at to beat tougher teams. But if we're going strictly off the question, who will have the highest impact, I think JJ Redick deserves to be a lot higher on that list than some of those other names.
Reading some of these comments here. I did say earlier I'll do anything, for money. But even this I'm not doing. That's it. I'm out. I'm out. They never liked the Lakers since the 80s. Yeah, listen, that's okay. That part I don't mind. Like I mean, really at the end of the day, all you have to do is just go out there and prove people wrong. Like that's the best way you could put it. I look at the Lakers a couple years ago, and I know they kind of came out of nowhere, but Darvin Ham's first year and Lakers get to the Western Conference Finals. They kind of can we sit here and say, yeah, but look at their path, and John Morant was injured, and then they faced this and all. Sure, you could say that, but you still got to get to the Western Conference Finals.
People talk about the Milwaukee Bucks winning a title, and Kevin Durant got hurt, and they got a lot of breaks along that, and they just talk about how they won a title. No one remembers.
All right, let's jump to another thing here real quick. So that's the NBA GM survey. If you want to get angry, go check it out. It's on NBA.com. If you're a Laker fan and you want to get your blood boiling, again, go to NBA.com. It's got you all covered there. I mentioned Greeny had Shams Charania. Shams Charania just signed with ESPN. What was that? A couple days ago or last week or whenever it was. Killing it in the game, and he's going to now be the face for ESPN. I mean, he was already killing it with or without ESPN. This is just going to elevate whatever he's doing to another level. All right, I want to play something for you guys because I have here on my title here that I want to have a chat about Bronny. And Sammy, you and I will do this in just a second, but let me first just play, because I do want to play this. A question was asked by Mike Greenberg. And let me just play it. But it was basically asked about LeBron and Bronny playing together. And listen to the answer that Shams gives off here of what to expect in regards to this. Take a quick listen here.
The culmination of a lifelong dream for LeBron. What is the plan for them to onboard? I guess what I'm asking is, how soon should we expect to see them on the floor together?
We're going to be seeing history very, very soon. The expectation on the Lakers is that their debut together, the first father-son duo in NBA history to play at the same time in a game, will be as soon as opening night, October 22nd, against the Minnesota Timberwolves at home at Crypto.com Arena, from everything I'm told. That is the plan. That is the hope. But again, it's up to JJ Redick, LeBron James, and I guess their comfortability. JJ Redick has said publicly that he's going to involve both LeBron James in that process. And so I think that is a process we'll see play out. But this is a player, Bronny James, 4-year contract, second-round draft pick. This is going to be a developmental year for him in a lot of ways. He's going to spend a lot of time on the active roster, a lot of time also in the G League when that starts in November. So we're going to see a player who went through a lot of medical stuff last year with the cardiac arrest. He's still finding his footing, and that's how we're going to see him this year in a developmental.
And I'm still.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. Okay, listen, I'm going to go back to what he said. And this is going to be kind of part of the conversation. And I think somebody actually just took the words out of my mouth. Should be game 1 to get it out of the way. Listen. If we are talking right now about Bronny James and LeBron James playing together to start the season, And if that's the freaking priority for this organization and this team, to put those two in a position they play on the court together, to make sure that that box is checked. Okay, you know what? Fine, all good. Get it over with. Do it in the beginning and let's freaking move on. Because I will tell you exactly how Laker fans feel for a couple of reasons. A, I'm a Laker fan. B, I feel like I have a pulse of most Laker fans. I don't want the storyline all season long that LeBron and Bronny are playing together. If Bronny James is a baller, then I don't care. You can do it all day long. But nobody is sitting here saying that Bronny James is ready to be in the NBA, that this guy is ready to come in. Dalton Connect is a rookie that you're like, hey, I want to see this dude play because Lakers need a shooter, and maybe this guy can contribute right away. But listening to that clip of Shams with Greeny basically saying, hey, on opening night, the Lakers will probably use Bronny and LeBron together. That part's it's frustrating to me to listen to, and this is one of the reasons why I'm like, are we really doing this? Like, I understand that that's his son. Cool, all that stuff. Let's just make sure we're still focusing on the basketball part, and that doesn't sound like the Lakers are focusing on the basketball part.
No, I mean, Laker fans we're all getting excited for the year, for Laker basketball to go try to win a championship. And this is the kind of narrative. I'm with everyone in the chat. Like,
Sammy, you don't even have to compete for a championship. Be in the mix. See if you could do something by the trade deadline. Have Laker fans at least a little optimistic that they're within, 5, 6, somewhere around there in the Western Conference. We could be realistic. Lakers are not going to be favored to do anything this year, but it doesn't mean that they can't use the regular season to get closer to that.
And not to just be, purple and gold glasses excited, but the Lakers did lose in 5 games last year, and all those games were close. And Gabe Vincent wasn't playing, and Jared Vanderbilt wasn't playing. Dalton Connect wasn't on the team. Max Christie didn't get any looks ever, which I thought was a major disappointment. There's reason for excitement with this team. And instead of talking about how we're going to beat Minnesota on October 22nd, it's a father-son duo. I'm like, it's cool. We've known about it for months. He got drafted in June. Like, get it out of the way. And this is not a franchise that struggles to sell tickets. So I don't understand why this is. If this was Charlotte, I get it. They're going to get national games. They're going to get all these things, and it's going to be a selling point for the thing. The Lakers don't have that problem. They're one of the biggest brands in the world in all of sports. So why is this becoming a narrative when it's like, Bronny, listen, I hope he, as you said, I hope he balls. I hope he's great. I hope he's amazing, and he forces his way on the floor. But if he's just doing this, and JJ Redick, please don't opening night. Just do whatever LeBron wants. Like, coach the team, because there's no way from what you've seen from Bronny that you feel like he should be out on the floor right now.
Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to play out. I really don't, because if this is already the conversation, that doesn't give me confidence that this upcoming season is going to be strictly 100% about the basketball part. I get it. This is an entertainment. This is a show. This is all that stuff. I understand that. But the Lakers brand is the brand because of winning, nothing else. That's what the Lakers brand is. It's the reason why the Lakers have 40, 41 nationally televised games this year is because they're the Lakers. The reason why when the Lakers were awful, that stretch where they didn't go to the playoffs 5, 6 years in a row, and we're still getting games on Christmas, the reason why they were still getting games on Christmas, because they're the Lakers, and that brand is synonymous with winning. I really don't want this to be the nerf. Let me play something out on the Bronny thing real quick. I've had a few people hit me up, whatever, on Twitter or on YouTube, whatever the case is, and they say, all right, Al, is there any chance that Bronny can have an opportunity in the NBA this year? What would Bronny have to do? What kind of player would he have to be to actually get some real playing time and maybe be impactful? I don't think it's going to happen, but let me kind of put the blueprint for you there. The only way Bronny James can actually be impactful to the Los Angeles Lakers this upcoming year, he's got to be one of those players where when he's on the floor, you're like, damn, that dude is instant energy. Wow, look at him on defense. He's doing all these small things that maybe another player is not doing. He doesn't even pay attention to the offensive side of the ball because he's all about picking somebody up full court and doing everything he can on the defensive side. he's hustling all over the place. He's crashing the glass and getting some rebounds. And oh, by the way, after those 10, 12 minutes, he's sitting on the bench trying to learn. That's the only scenario to me that Bronny can be impactful this upcoming year. And I'm not telling you that with confidence. I'm just telling you that that's the best case scenario for Bronny, and I don't think that's realistic.
I think the only way he starts getting looks is if Jared Vanderbilt gets hurt again. Because he's a poor man's Jared Vanderbilt. He's not as good of a defender, but that's what he hangs his hat on. He was not a scorer at USC. Obviously, glad he's okay. Had the heart cardiac arrest, so missed half the year. But his career high at USC was 13 points against Arizona. He averaged 4.8 points per game. So people coming in here thinking, oh, he's going to be a scorer. He had 2 points in his first preseason game on 1 for 6 shooting. And the bucket came at the end of the game. The only thing he can really hang his hat on, and NBA scouts have said, is that he does have some tools defensively that could be a pest in people's sides. So unless Jared Vanderbilt goes away or something like that, I don't see a way for him to legitimately make a case to get on the floor. But I agree with you. It's got to be all energy. It's got to be a lockdown defender. It's got to be a kind of Pat Beverly type player where you're so good on one side of the floor, it doesn't matter your deficiencies on offense.
It's 19. And that's not coming. That's not coming right away. That's gonna, whatever that is, that's gonna take. It's obviously gonna take a lot of time. Sammy, what you got the rest of the day? You busy? I mean, what are you doing? What's happening today? You watch some Lakers basketball a little bit later tonight?
Of course. We got a full night of sports. We got the LA Kings. There's a big hockey guy starting at 4.
Okay.
Starting later tonight. We got Thursday night football. We're gonna have all the screens going.
Who's on Thursday night tonight?
San Fran and Seattle. So it's pretty good.
I like that matchup. Yeah, I like that matchup.
San Fran needs a win. This is if they lose this one, I don't know. They would have lost to every team in the division if they lose tonight.
Are they 2-2 right now?
Yeah, or they're 2-3. They're 2-3.
They're 2-3. Okay. I know they lost. They lost to Arizona. What was that? This past Sunday. That's right.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting game, and whenever those two teams get together, it's always fun.
No, it's a good matchup.
Always Laker basketball first. So that's going to be on the main TV.
All right, brother. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate your breakdown there. Get the hell out of here and go enjoy the rest of your day.
I want to see you in a sparring session, man.
Listen.
Everyone wants to see it live.
Yeah, when I start subscription and get members on there, that's where I'm saving my 8-round, 45-minute boxing sessions for. That's what I'm saving it for.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's free? It's like a pay-per-view event. You can't nobody just says, "Hey, Alan, jump up and down and do it for free."
We're gonna get a whole undercard on here. We're gonna get other celebrities like yourself.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, no, that's not good. Then now we're talking about actually getting hurt. I don't know if I want to get hurt. All right, brother. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Sammy Long right there. Good man right there. Good man right there. All right, let's get to some of these comments here, and then we're gonna call it a day. Yeah, it's funny, man. That listening to that clip here, the Shams clip. I don't know. I was kind of churning twice. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me just get this right here. Did he just say what I thought he said? That hey, they're gonna expect us to do this on opening night. The only thing, and I'm gonna go back to what one of the comments was. I hope because they're going to do it on opening night, literally just to get it over with and move on from there. All right, let me see some of these comments here. Shadow boxing Slee. Boxing while talking, do it. I got to get out there and start shooting some jumpers. That's where I want to take my video to. All right, let's see if we got anything else here. By the way, tomorrow we'll kind of react a little bit to the Lakers preseason game, but of course we're going to preview Game 5, Dodgers and the Padres. So we'll end up doing that as well. Some of the Bronny comments that were out there. Bronny probably has higher NBA IQ than the veterans. Someone going at Reeves here. Reeves not a serious pro, never looks in a decent condition. I think what you mean by that is physically. Let's see what else we have here. Where do you go, Hoopsley? To be honest with you, I just kind of been shooting around here. I'm in, as you guys can see, in Solana Beach here. Do I just do shows now with one boxing glove? I think I might have to do that. I might have to do that moving forward. Okay, one other thing, the last thing I got here, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. You guys see down here, it says phone etiquette. Could I ask everybody just a quick question about phone etiquette real quick? I'm at the grocery store. I'm at Sprouts, okay? Sprouts. It's like my go-to grocery store. I'm at Sprouts. I'm looking at this guy, all right? Maybe he looked a little bit like me. He might have been Middle Eastern. Pretty sure he was Middle Eastern. Guy's walking around the grocery store, phone on speaker. Phone on speaker the whole time. Up and down the aisles, phone on speaker. Not like a little bit phone on speaker, like full phone on speaker. What's happened to our society? You can't walk around with your phone on speaker. I mean, the only thing worse than that is the people that are FaceTiming when they're going up and down the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? Guys, this is on speaker. He makes eye contact with me and he kind of waves at me like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, no, don't, hey, how you doing? Take your phone off speaker. You can't just walk down the grocery store while I'm trying to grab my condiments and I'm listening to a full Middle Eastern conversation at Sprouts on aisle 4. What are we doing here? Take the phone off speaker. It's a private conversation that you're having here. Waves at me. What the hell is that? Am I what's happened to society? Am I wrong here? I don't think I'm wrong here. Take your damn phone off speaker. That's all I got. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thank you for hanging out. Really fun show today. So I appreciate you guys having so many comments on here. I will tell you the comments really do help with the show. It definitely helps with just kind of keeping the pace of the show, keeping the topics going. So thank you very much for doing that. I asked you guys one thing. I've mentioned it before. Subscribe to the channel. It's the only thing I'm looking for as I continue this independent journey of doing this all on my own, figuring out, look what I got here. This is what happens now when I decided to leave the big corporation, okay? I'm putting together sales packages. I got my targets of who I'm going after. I got different companies that I'm looking to get, obviously sponsor the show and everything else. So, yeah, a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do. Thank you for being a part of the show. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hopefully some positive vibes the rest of the day as well. Hopefully this channel kind of helps a little bit of that as well. Thank you for hanging out. Have a great rest of your day.